So I've been a fan of JP for quite a long time now. I used to love his videos about spiritualism, veganism, when he used to make fun of those sorts of things. And now he's a little bit more political. And I'm going to react to his video, Why I Love the Nastiest Woman Ever. I think I've seen this lady before, but let's see what he has to say about it.
Some are saying this is the nastiest woman ever.
And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
Do you think you need any of
Wow. Wow.
those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
Keep in mind, she
Wow. That's funny. I mean, you have to say, I think that the thing that makes sort of liberal politicians so effective is that they are really great at acting and putting on a show. I don't think this lady has that skill.
she's running for governor of California. I kind of like her. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my freedom-loving friend. This is where we help spread the light of truth and freedom because truth conquers. Now, is she the nastiest woman ever? By all accounts, yes. And she's one of the front runners of the Democrat candidates to become governor of California. Goodbye, Newsom. Enjoy your run for presidency. We're going to replace you with someone worse than you. So Katie Porter, she's recently gotten a lot of publicity, none of it positive. And some would say no publicity is bad publicity. And I would say that's definitely not true. So who knows if this will help her, hurt her, or if it'll make a difference. But she is said to be a front runner for governor of California. Now, there are some nasty clips of her. Yes, we're also going to see what she stands
All right, well, let's see some nasty
for.
clips.
And also, I think even scarier than her being nasty to people is when she's level-headed and you hear what she actually thinks. That's scarier than anything. I'll show you that at the end. But first, let's start with some of Katie Porter's experiences on her resume. This, according to the New York Post. Representative Katie Porter scalded ex-husband's scalp with potatoes.
Whoa, hold on. So the California Democrat frequently abused him verbally and threw toys, books, and other objects at him. Wow.
Katie Porter scalded ex-husband's scalp with potatoes. This is what you want in a governor candidate, ladies and gentlemen. The former husband of Katie Porter said the California Democrat frequently abused him verbally and threw toys, books, and other objects at him during their marriage. This is what you do. Even pouring scalding hot mashed potatoes on his head during a fight, according to divorce records.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that you could pour mashed potatoes.
Now, she probably shouldn't have done that. And also, let's be real, his self-defense skills, if he's getting harmed by mashed potatoes, are not that high. Like situational awareness coming at you with a pot of boiling hot mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I can see this. I can see it standing there. Well, what is he doing? Is he not, he doesn't see her coming? He doesn't know that she's coming with this like giant pot of mashed potatoes that she's going to have to shake out onto him?
Potatoes, I don't know. Maybe he's in a wheelchair and he couldn't get away. Otherwise,
is he in a wheelchair?
Buddy, improve your self-defense. And Katie, probably don't do that anymore. That's a bad look.
Yeah.
Some would say it's abusive. Matthew Hoffman, who filed for divorce from Porter in 2013. By the way, as we watch these clips that we're going to go through, divorce makes sense. This would be a hard woman to be married to. She's a hard woman to work for. We'll see some of those stats in a second. Matthew,
I've heard Ellen DeGeneres has also been a hard woman to work for.
Hoffman said in a request for a restraining order dated April 30th of that year that he was routinely called a effing idiot and effing incompetent by his rage-prone spouse who...
The thing that always amazes me is, how do you become married to someone like this? How do you date this person, get engaged to this person, and then marry somebody? She has to have been like this the entire time. There's no way that this came out of the blue like a year into the marriage. there were signs, if not outright behavior. That's a beta male.
Also shattered a glass coffee pot on their kitchen counter in March 2012 when she felt their house wasn't clean enough. That's a pretty stupid thing to do, because if your house isn't clean enough, shattering a glass coffee pot, it ain't going to make it cleaner. It's going to make an even better mess. But nonetheless, this is, you might call unhinged behavior, rageful behavior, well, some abusive behavior.
Yeah.
And it all makes perfect sense when you see clips of Katie, because at least her behavior is consistent. It's nice that she's not just, whoa, she's raging.
You know what to expect of someone like this.
This never happens, but it's like, this is exactly what happens. This is very predictable with this lady. She'd be a great governor for California. Now, she sat down for an interview with CBS. This didn't go too well. The journalist was asking her typical questions. In fact, how typical were they? The journalist said, these are the questions I ask all the candidates. And Katie Porter absolutely freaked out. She shut down the interview. It's just poetry to watch. Oh, and by the way, if there's any question which one's which, Katie Porter, the rageful governor candidate, she's the linebacker looking one.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
I love it already. How would
you need voters in order to win?
I need voters in order to win?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote.
Who's she laughing at? Staffers that hate her?
You think you'll get 60%? Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're thinking.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another?
This is the mindset that is destroying that side of the game. I mean, they're not even trying to please anybody. They're just trying to be the only one that's not Donald Trump. They don't even want to do anything positive.
Democrat.
I don't intend that to be the case.
I like that plan. What if it's you versus another Democrat, which could certainly be the case? Her answer, I don't intend that to happen. That's great. Like, ask a Navy SEAL commanding officer, like, all right, here's the mission you've planned, but you haven't planned like security in this area. What if enemy forces come at you from that area? You're left vulnerable, wide open. All your men will die. And the commander's like, well, I don't intend for that.
It's true.
To happen. So that's a sound strategy.
How do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to...
Her name is very recognized now that all these clips have gone viral. She does have the name recognition now.
do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before.
By the way, just look at her. Look at her forehead. Can you see? Just look at the texture of her forehead. This, oh.
She's stood on her own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. But has she done anything to help anybody?
It's gritty, it's grainy, and like weirdly the rest of her face is smooth. It's like, fuck, makeup person, maybe go up a little higher. But the texture of her linebacker weathered forehead is very congruent with her personality.
That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
But you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't think
I feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that
Well, to those voters, okay, so you.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're above this. So and there's a little bit more. She's probably watched all the Kamala
I don't even know if that was a trick question. I think it was just kind of a normal question.
interviews of Kamala running for president after Kamala really won the primary. Watching like Oprah interview her, and Oprah's throwing up these softball questions, no follow-ups. This lady asked her one follow-up question. She's like, this is too much. You're attacking me. You have to follow up question. This isn't how interviews go. Kamala paid Oprah over $1 million to interview her. Like, she's at an elite child blood drinking level. She controls everything. Sorry, Ms. Porter, you ain't there yet. This is an actual journalist. It's CBS, so not an actual journalist. But she's posing as an actual journalist. She's like, this is too much. I can't handle it. She asked a question and then an additional question. What are they trying to entrap me? I'm so hormonally balanced. I quit. That's the sign of a great leader. The first sign of adversity, quitting, throwing a temper tantrum. Another sign of a great leader is perceiving a question as adversity. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first, did you know there's one phase of sleep that almost everyone fails to get enough of? And this one phase of sleep is responsible for most of your body's daily rejuvenation, repair, generating weight loss hormones, controlling hunger, boosting energy, and more. I'm talking about deep sleep. And if you don't get enough of it, you'll probably struggle with cravings, slow metabolism, premature aging, and even worse conditions. But why don't most people get enough of this number one most important phase of sleep? Well, a big reason is magnesium deficiency, because 80% of our population is deficient in magnesium. Now, before you go out and buy just any magnesium supplement on the market, understand this: most contain just 1 to 2 forms of magnesium, when the reality is your body needs all 7 forms of this most essential sleep mineral. That's why I recommend Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers. Magnesium Breakthrough contains all 7 forms of magnesium designed to calm your mind, help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. My experience is the deep sleep benefits are very noticeable. For an exclusive offer, go to bioptimizers.com/JPReacts and use discount code JPReacts to save 15%. And if you subscribe, not only will you get amazing discounts and free gifts, you'll also ensure your monthly supply is guaranteed. That's bioptimizers.com/JPReacts. Now back to the video.
Gonna do the interview with us.
Nope, not like this. I'm not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
It was one follow-up, but it felt, now at this point, it feels like 15 follow-ups.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't
our
care.
follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this.
And she does bring a lot of positivity to the situation. Credit where credit is due. She wants a pleasant...
And she does bring a lot of positivity to the situation.
Positive conversation. So she's bringing all this positive energy. And she doesn't need to do that. But
JP is like number 1 when it comes to sarcasm.
But she's doing that, obviously, as you can see. And this journalist is just bringing all this negativity with a couple questions. Can you believe that? Like, journalists, could you bring a little positivity? You brought questions? I would like positivity. I'm bringing my half of the positivity.
No
to the
questions
table.
allowed in the
I think
interview.
Katie is one of the most
Just
positive
positivity.
people I've ever met, and I'm sure you would agree. So I love her self-awareness. Just knowing I am a very positive person.
Get out of my fucking shot.
I want positivity all around me. And unfortunately,
It's so
you ain't
funny.
getting it.
And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
No, we're never going to get there.
Every
We're
question
there,
you're going to make
but
up
we
a
would never
follow-up
get
question.
there. In an interview where questions are asked. I mean, I feel sorry.
Like the only point of the interview is to ask questions. I mean, what else is she supposed to do? I don't even understand what the expectations are. I think it's just bring up a topic and let her rant on it and say whatever she wants to say.
For Katie, she was...
I mean, that's really what they expect you to do. They expect you to just to bring up the topic and then bring up no contradictory points, no arguments, just let the politician ramble on and on and on and lie and make stuff up.
Trapped. This must have been some insider in her staff, like, trapped her into this. Like, dude, we're doing an interview, and they started asking questions. Who's the betrayer here? Who set this up? Ah.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never had to do
reporter.
this before, ever.
You've never had to have a
end an
conversation
interview.
with
To end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader.
And a great leader. We've already pointed to some of those qualities out.
I am going to make.
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up questions.
I'm going to show you a specific part one more time because this is important. There's a lot to unpack here.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you.
That felt very caring. I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you here. That to me felt like the care and compassion coming from a serial killer.
It's corporate speak is what that is.
It's like, I don't want to have to do this to you. I sincerely don't want to have to do this. And you can tell, like, they actually don't want to kill you, but they definitely will if you keep doing what you're doing.
No, they want to.
Behavior. She likely had a pot of boiling hot mashed potatoes off camera. Like,
yeah.
I want to have a happy experience with you here. I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you here. And according to Twitter, Katie Porter had a 65% staff turnover rate, 4 times higher than the average congressional office. She was repeatedly accused of abusing and berating staffers until they cried. Porter also scalded her ex-husband by throwing a pot of mashed potatoes on his head. She's a basket case. No, she is a woman who is she's got...
She sounds really well put together.
Leadership. And remember what I said. If you think she's scary when she's nasty, she is even scarier when she's calm, telling you what she thinks. Get to that at the end. But here's another example of Katie Porter in action, unhappy with the lighting situation that her staff has set up for an interview.
Wow.
Which I would imagine this interview didn't involve any questions. But look at the looks she's giving her staffers while maintaining a pleasant facade to the camera. The difference of her emotional tonality and the pleasant look on her face, that's a sign of mental stability, I think.
I'm about to get on. Bernard, I need you to turn these off. These that are killing me. Hang on 1 second, everybody.
Okay. Okay. I want to murder these people.
Yes, we should have.
Hold on 1 second.
Yes. Okay, everybody. I'm not that.
It's amazing to me when people think that we don't know what's going on. I mean, we can watch you and see you being a certain way to other people, and then like we're not fooled by that. We're not fooled because you smiled at us.
Dark.
I like that look. I can't imagine why she had a 4 times higher staff turnover rate than average with a look like that. Now let's get a little more context as she screams at a staffer for being in her shot. To the staffer's credit, she's wearing a mask. She's talking about climate change and stuff like that, and must be a really important interview because she has a cluttered kitchen behind her.
So I'm on the oversight committee. You might know.
Yeah, of course. Like, this lady's a big deal. Of course I knew she was on the oversight committee. Did you know that? I definitely knew that.
And that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles.
The staffer is actually now correcting her. She was some of her climate change problem.
The staff is correcting her. She was like so annoyed that she got called
Propaganda
out.
was inaccurate. Like any of it is accurate. It's just that's hilarious.
It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Yeah, I probably would start again. That's
This lady.
I've done some interviews in my day. That's a hard one to recover from. Pulling the audience back. Get out of my effing shot.
That's actually incorrect. It's not that. It's
Okay,
not-
well, you were still in my shot. Stay out. Anyway, guys, so what I was saying, the electric vehicles, like everybody's going to die if we don't do them. Yeah, that probably is a good one to edit out. Okay, I'm going to start over. Yeah. Don't worry, we're not going to show people who you really are. But everybody's seen this clip now. Glenn Beck says it pretty well about Katie Porter. I don't know who should be more embarrassed. Katie Porter for proving in her CBS interview that she can't answer a basic question without exploding, or Californians for ranking her as the front runner in the race for governor. Now, that's a good philosophical question, Glenn. And I think they should both be ashamed. Perhaps Californians should be ashamed more. That's my answer. Now, before we see the scariest clip of Katie Porter, let's...
That's true. If you voted for her, if you managed to see all of her public appearances, everything about her, and you still voted for her, that's probably something to be ashamed of, just to be honest.
Let's take a look at her campaign page, katieporter.com. Now, this page is full of just almost nothing, but it asks for donations at the top. You can tell she stands for a lot. What California needs is a little bit of hope and a whole lot of grit. All right. I mean, that's kind of in line
She's definitely kind of gritty, that's for sure.
with the lady who looks like she plays middle linebacker for some team. All right. So very extensive information. But we can see what her priorities are. Let's just take a look-ski. Defending your health care from Trump's attacks. I like that. We're going to keep you boosted. We don't want you to pay for anything. We're going to defend your health care. Okay. Everything costs too much. Let's make it easier to live here. I like that. What do you stand for? Everything costs too much. Great. I like that plan of pointing out that everything costs too much. Bring businesses, workers, and government together so our economy thrives. Translated, that is communism. Let's bring businesses, workers, and government together. A lot of people would say we just need more government and businesses. We need government taking over businesses, merging. Then you have communism. And I think that would do really well in California, but it gets better. It gets even more intellectual as we go. Build more housing and keep Californians off the streets. Great plan. A great plan. And I would say there's no need to have a plan for that plan to work. You just have that plan. We're going to build more.
That's, and this is something that I've seen a lot. Kamala Harris did this. Joe Biden did this. This is what you see a lot. Even Obama did this, where they say what the sort of goal is or what the sort of end goal should be, but they don't say how you're going to get there. There's no plan. They just want you to vote for them, and then they're going to do whatever they want to do.
More housing, and then people aren't going to be living on the streets of California. Cool. I would imagine most of the homeless problem is simply because there's not enough houses for them to live in. So you build the houses. In California, real estate, it's massively high. You can't get a cheap house for even $500,000. But let's just say, cool, you built.
I mean, you'd think with all the people moving out of California, the housing would be getting a little bit better, but
a lot more housing. These houses are $500,000 a piece. Super cheap from California. Can't get this deal anywhere, but Katie Porter had these houses built because I'd imagine she's a construction worker. She's a real estate mogul like Donald Trump. Okay, we got all these houses. Homeless people, here's some houses for you. They cost $500,000. Here they are. oh, that didn't solve our homeless problem. It didn't change it at all. Well, I guess the plan didn't work, but we had the plan. I think we need to build more houses. Next priority, defend clean air laws and expand clean energy. This is important, ladies and gentlemen. This is a climate change enthusiast. Get her on a boat with Greta Thunberg. I'd say that'd look good for the campaign. I want to see this lady yelling at Greta. I just want to see them yelling back and forth. Greta's like, how dare you? And the lady's like, Greta. And then next priority, prepare for disasters like wildfires, earthquakes, and floods. There's probably some merit to that. Okay, remember how I said she's even scarier when she's not raging and you can hear what she actually thinks. Well, here's a clip of her that I'm sure she's delighted is going around where she's defending minor attracted people, essentially implying it's nonsense that we consider what they do to be crimes when what they do is simply have a specific identity. Take a look.
This allegation of groomer and pedophile, it is alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity.
Wow. Kind of thought JP might have been exaggerating on this one. He's not. He's not exaggerating.
Their sexual orientation, their gender identity.
I don't think that.
We got.
Hold on. Did I miss? I mean, did I really hear what I just think I
Do
just
is
heard?
simply have a specific identity. Take a look.
This allegation of groomer and pedophile, it is.
Yeah, groomer. You don't use groomer outside of minors.
Alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their.
I don't think being attracted to little kids is a sexual orientation. That's not how you use that.
Identity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity.
We gotta go through that one more time.
Allegation of groomer and pedophile. It is alleged.
First off, I like that it's allegation of groomer and pedophile. It's an allegation.
Person is criminal somehow.
How is that criminal? I mean, it is. They're saying it is somehow. I don't see it. How is this criminal? Huh? Could someone please inform me?
And engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity.
Well, Katie, there is an issue there. Engaging in criminal acts merely because of their identity. Well, no, they're not a criminal because of what they say their identity is. The criminalness comes from their behavior, what you call the acts. Your act is different than your identity. You could identify as a groomer. You can identify as that all day long. That is not a crime. But if you do the act, if you do the behavior, that's in fact a major crime. Life in prison, death sentence, I'm up for either, if I'm being honest.
Their sexual orientation, their gender identity.
I like how she implies people who have gender identity things going on that they're also doing grooming. I like statistically,
Yeah.
there's something to it, but
She's
I like
kind of
how
implying
she
that.
implies that herself. The scariest thing about this lady is what she thinks. The second scariest thing about this lady is her nasty, vicious behavior. And trust me, she does her best to act like a normal human being when the cameras are on, but she can't even hold it together for that. And you just imagine what this animal is like behind the scenes. Why does her staff quit 4 times more than anyone else's staff? I don't know. It's probably just because they don't appreciate a powerful woman like this. Let me know what you think about this animal in the comments.
I certainly
below.
don't
I look forward to
appreciate it.
seeing you on our next video, but until then, stay free.
That's funny. So, all right.
Comments below.
Why he loves the nastiest woman ever? It must just be because, there's really no chance for the Democratic Party with people like this running. So there's JP's Why I Love the Nastiest Woman Ever. And we'll see you on the next one.